morning. So nice to have you join us on this very cold day. I feel colder just looking at Allison Pryor sitting here next to me in your short sleeve shirt. Here you are, former meteorologist, walking around in your short sleeve shirt.
I know. I had a down jacket on whenever I walked in, though, so I'll have give me some credit for that at least.
Well, I thought you were doing it because you and I were chatting, and you said, you know what? It's cold outside. It's warm at the aquarium. It's a great time to actually take some time and come stroll through the aquarium.
It's an amazing time to do that. You know, you think especially about going upstairs in our Ocean Journey building where we have our butterfly garden, that warmth and humidity, over 80 degrees in there. It is fabulous during the winter time, but it's not just about that. Obviously, we have the climate controlled throughout the aquarium, so it's a lot of fun to come and visit. And we have some exciting things coming up just over the next month or so for people who may want to come in the evening time. We have a few different options for folks. On 3 Saturdays in February, we're going to have extended hours from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. that people get to enjoy. Additionally, for our adults, we've been doing these evening time events. On January 31st, we're going to have one for 18 and up. So a lot of times our adults events are 21 and up. This one's 18 and up because we're focused on mocktails. So you think about Dry January, come have an adults only night at our River Journey building, and we have some fun little specialty drinks for that. And then Valentine's weekend on February 13th, we have our nightlife It's a Love Story. So there's a little bit of a Taylor Swift theme to it. Might be a great Galentine's event that you can come to, but that will be on February 13th for people to enjoy. And again, that'll be in our River Journey building. So a few different options when it comes to that evening time hours. If you want to come after work, come with friends, a date or something like that. And then, of course, Julie, young kids and families, we're already talking about spring and summer camps.
Yeah, that could also be why you have on your short sleeve shirt. Well, I was actually in a meeting the other day, and I mentioned something about summer camps, and this was mid-January. And one of my coworkers said, oh, I've already signed my kids up for 3. I mean, people have to start early.
They have to start early. So for our members and River Society members, your camp registration opens up on January 28th.
Okay.
This is a good reminder. If you got that gift membership at Christmas, the holiday gift membership, go ahead and activate it so you can get those camp registrations done. You get that early perk. And then for the general public, camp opens up on February 2nd. So just a couple of weeks away that we're talking about this. For spring break, we follow Hamilton County's schedule. So March 16th through 20th is when we have our spring break camp. That's for ages 5 through 9. And then, of course, summer camp, that's the big one. It's every week throughout June and July. So those camps are usually 4 to 5 days long. We have 4 different themes for our general camps that are for 5 to 12-year-olds. Plus, we have 2 specialty camps for those older kids. Particularly, we have one called Nocturnal Wonders that's for teenagers, 13 to 16-year-olds. And so they are learning about animal life at nighttime, and then the last night of camp they get to spend the night at the aquarium.
Fun.
And then we also have those younger kids covered with our Tiny Tides camp for 4 and 5-year-olds.
Okay,
so lots of options.
Let me give you a big shout out, at least in my opinion, on the one for the teens, because they get so left out. But when you're a middle schooler, you've got to do something in the summer.
Right, exactly. So we want to be able to reach everybody when we're thinking about 4-year-olds all the way up to 16-year-olds. And then also for our teenagers who may be interested in volunteering, later in the middle of February, we're going to have volunteer positions that start to open up to be counselors in training for the summer camps for 14 to 17-year-olds. So you can check that out in a few weeks too.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about the IMAX Theater, another way to come in and kind of get away from the cold. Y'all have got some new ones coming to the screen?
Yeah, absolutely. So in the evening time when we have these Hollywood films debuting this weekend, we're going to have the movie Mercy. That's the one with Chris Pratt where he's on trial. It's futuristic. It's an AI trial of him potentially having murdered his wife, and so going through that, a little bit of that action-packed movie. And then we're going to have another one after that called Scarlet that's an animated film, so switching it up a little bit. And then beyond that, we have Epic, which is Elvis Presley in concert. So Baz Luhrmann, the film he did of Elvis with Austin Butler in 2022, they found archive footage of Elvis that's never been seen. So this is the
Wow.
kind of complement of the documentary concert film where you're getting to see
that's
Elvis up on the
cool.
big screen.
That's very, very cool. Okay, I want to go back to the last time I saw you because when you were talking about the nighttime events that you have coming up for the adults, I think right before Christmas you were here and you were telling about some opportunity that was still there for kids to be able to come and spend the night at the aquarium.
Yes.
And I think you had said then that the animals actually do kind of change a little bit. It's a very different experience when you're there in the evening hours versus the daytime. Is that true?
It is. So that's our Sleep in the Deep program.
I remember,
so,
yeah.
Yes. So we had that one in December. We usually try to do those open to the public once a quarter. So we don't have our public one for this quarter released yet, but I'm sure I will tell you once we do.
Well, but I was thinking if you did the adult events like the Galentine's thing, will
to
it
be in
seem
each
different?
Right. It will seem a little bit different walking through and seeing the changes in animal behavior, especially this time of year because we still have that earlier sunset compared if you do a nighttime event
in the
summertime and you're upstairs in the peaks and there's still light coming through at 9 p.m. So this way you really get to take advantage of that. And we also have educators that'll be set up in a couple of different stations. So with adults, you really get to have that kind of one-on-one moment with the educators and not have to worry about kids running around or if they're paying attention. And hopefully that's a more enjoyable experience too.
Okay, so all of it you find at tnaqua.org. If you are an aquarium member and you're a parent or grandparent registering for summer camp, January 28th?
January 28th, and that specifically is tnaqua.org/camp.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
When you catch a big wild trophy fish, you mount it on a sweet